marry Joan. What a girl, what a world, what a life. Oh, I married Joan. What a mind, love is blind, what a wife.
Joan Davis with Jim Backus in
I married Joan.
Gin.
Gin? We're playing Scrabble.
No, not that kind of gin. This is Jinn. It's a mythological Mohammedan spirit. It's also 22 points.
T-A-G. Tag, that's 4 points.
Sally, do you really think that used furniture dealer will give me money for that old stuff of mine?
Sure he will. He gave me $80 for just a couple of rickety old chairs.
Baloney. You heard me, baloney. It fits right there, see?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Mr. Hokinson.
Mrs. Stevens?
Yes? Oh, it is Mr. Hokinson, the furniture man.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Brown.
Mr. Hokinson, I've got some things ready that I'd like to show you. If you just take a seat, I'll be right back.
You know, Mr. Hokinson, I really feel a little guilty about taking that $80 for those old chairs.
Now, don't you worry about it, Mrs. Brown. I'm sure that I can make a small profit on those chairs. In fact, if you run across any more of them, I'll make the same generous deal. Oh, well.
Well, here they are, Mr. Hokinson. This head belonged to my Uncle George. That is, it was his head after he shot it.
Of course.
And this phonograph isn't exactly a hi-fi. It isn't even a lo-fi, but it still works. You want to hear it play something?
No, that won't be necessary, Mrs. Stevens.
You know, Joni, I think Mr. Hokinson's interested in your breakfront.
That old thing? Well, I might throw it in if Mr. Hokinson makes me a nice, generous offer on these two things.
Well, I can see that I'm not doing business with an amateur.
Hardly. Well, you make the first offer, Mr. Hokinson, and I'll take it from there.
Well, Mrs. Stevens, what would you say to $400? And that includes the breakfront, of course.
$400? Excuse me. What do you think, Sally?
Oh, gee, that's an awful lot of money. But Wally always said, when you're bargaining, never take the first offer. You can always come back to it later.
That makes sense. Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Hokinson, but the answer is no, because when you're bargaining, you never take the first offer. I can't take it, no.
Oh, I see. Well, what would you say to $600?
$600? What do you think, Sally? Never mind, Sally. I'll take it.
Fine. I have the cash right here with me. 3, 4, 5, 6 brand new $100 bills.
Oh, Sally, aren't they beautiful? I never knew that Benjamin Franklin was so handsome. He's a doll, isn't he?
And now, Mrs. Stevens, if you'll just sign this receipt.
Yes. Oh, here we are.
That ought to do it. Thank you very, very much.
Oh.
And now I'll take the deer head and the phonograph with me now, and I'll send my truck to come Monday and pick up the breakfront.
Oh, fine. Oh, it's been a pleasure to do business with you, Mr. Hokinson.
Believe me, Mrs. Stevens, the pleasure is all mine. Goodbye, ladies.
Here's my friend.
Joni, now that you're rich, what are you going to do with the money?
Well, let me see. Oh, Brad had his heart set on getting a trailer. Now, with this money, he can get it.
You mean you're going to give it to him?
Yes, but don't mention it to Brad or Wally. I want it to be a surprise.
Okay, I'll be quiet about it.
You know, I just wonder if Bradley J. Stevens knows what a wonderful, noble, unselfish, furniture-selling wife he's got.
Ben Hogan and Sam Sneed now.
Oh, dear.
Oh, now that you see how it's done, would you like to try it?
Oh, sure, honey.
Oh. Brad, I've got a surprise for you, dear.
Have I got a surprise for you, too? You just wait till I put He sticks away.
What's the surprise?
Well, we played golf with Bill Randolph today, and he's going to let us use his boat tomorrow.
Isn't that wonderful? Just think, the four of us, day fishing at Catalina.
Fishing? Now, wait a minute, Brad. You know how I hate boats.
Well, dear, this is going to be wonderful. Just think, a whole day on the water, the sunshine, the fresh air.
Well, I am thinking, Brad. I'm thinking how very much I don't like fishing, how dull it'll be for me, and how much afraid I am of the water.
Now, look, dear, this is too good a chance to pass up this bill.
Dear. Hi, Brad. Say, I talked Sally into going. How'd you make out?
Oh, no good. Joan doesn't want any part of that fishing idea. I guess you and Sally will have the boat all to yourselves.
Oh, gosh, that's too bad. Well, Brad, Bill Randolph tells me there's a lot of ducks down there at the Catalina, and I'd like to take a few pot shots when I get to the island, so can I borrow your shotgun?
Oh, sure.
Good.
Sure, Wally. It's right here in the closet.
Well.
Huh? Here's a box of shells for you, too.
That's a tip. Gee, thanks. Oh, wait a minute. I've got to stop at the store, and I don't want to drag this gun all over the street. Can I leave it here and pick it up the first thing in the morning?
Well, certainly. Oh. Don't worry. It'll be right here.
Oh, swell. Thanks a lot, Brad. I'll be seeing you.
All right, Wally. Bye.
Well, I got the kitchen all straightened up. Who was that came in there?
That was Wally. I told him we weren't going, and he and Sally are going alone.
Brad,
Yes, dear.
do you remember I said I had something to tell you?
You did?
Yeah, well, the other day, Sally sold 2 old creaky chairs to a used furniture dealer and got $80 for them. Of course, she thought that was pretty good.
Dealer must have thought it was pretty good, too, to give her $80 for them.
I wouldn't have given 20 cents for the pair of them.
Well, that just shows you how little the average public knows of values. You see, Sally was selling used furniture. The dealer was buying antiques. Those fellas come around and pick up some priceless pieces for practically nothing.
They do?
Oh, sure. The average housewife doesn't know anything about antiques. Few people do, dear. Say, you remember the Traymans who were over here for dinner last week?
The Travens?
Yes, he auctions off estates, and he sees a lot of antiques. Well, honey, he took one look at that breakfront of ours. Do you know how much he said it was worth?
No.
$1,500.
Did you say $1,500?
Yes. Of course, not that I'd ever dream of selling it there.
You wouldn't?
No, I'd see myself starve first. It's been in our family for generations.
Well, now, Brad, you never said anything like that to me.
Oh, yes, I did. I don't go around talking about it all the time, but I'm sure that I've mentioned it, dear, because... Joan, you weren't thinking of selling that, were you?
Well, of course not. What a silly idea. Naturally, I wouldn't think of selling it now.
Oh, dear, you had me scared for a moment, honey. If I ever thought for 1 minute that you... Well, I don't even want to talk about it. Honey, what was it that you wanted to tell me?
Nothing at all, Brad.
Oh, yes, there was. When I came home, you said you had a surprise for me, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Honey,
Well, okay.
what have you got behind your back? Come on, dear.
I'll show you.
Oh, see.
There. How do you like my new nail polish?
That's the surprise?
Yeah, it's called Disappearing Red. Isn't it exciting?
But I don't even see any nail polish.
How do you like that? It disappeared again. I know, Mr. Wilkinson. I know. But I got to call the deal off on account of my husband. You see, when I sold you the breakfront, I didn't realize that it had such sentimental value for him. But he wouldn't part with it for anything.
Listen, Mrs. Stevens, I don't want to get involved in any family situation, especially with a judge's wife. So if you'll just bring back my $600 in the morning, I'll tear up that receipt that you gave me, and you can keep the breakfront.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Wilkinson. Really, you're so kind and understanding. I do appreciate it very much. It certainly took a big load off of my mind.
You do have the money.
Well, of course I do. It's absolutely safe. It's right where I left it, in my husband's shotgun. I'll give you the money in the morning. And thanks again, Mr. Wilkinson. Bye.
you doing out there? Joni, for heaven's sakes, let's go to bed. Joni, what are you doing in the closet at this time of the night?
Oh, Brad, I promised Evelyn Gibson that I'd get some things for her Girl Scout rummage sale.
Girl Scout rummage. Last week, the charity bazaar. The week before that, the turkey drawing. Joni, why do you have to have your finger in everything?
Well, you know me, Brad.
Yeah, I sure do. When you get hold of something, you just can't let go. Oh, but you're sweet, dear. You finish what you're doing, honey. You come to bed, huh? Tony, for heaven's sake, let's go to bed. Whatever it is you're doing, you can let it go till the morning.
Yeah, I guess you're right, Brad. It won't run away.